It is quite nice looking though. Mandalorian was a really good choice. This does look really good. So NovelKeys, so Keycult is not handling anything about production here, which is the key thing, in case anyone's wondering, because I think that's kind of where this is getting confusing for a lot of people who have, you know, just glanced at the update and just immediately getting super annoyed and mad and stuff like that. Basically like a license to make this design. So they're not handling anything in the pipeline for producing this product. NovelKeys is, which you can see as a big win if you'd like. It would make more sense given the, I guess, general perception and, you know, what's been going on. This is a pretty big, it's a pretty big win, pretty big dub, as Lux just said. That's one of the major things that's happening. The other thing, which we'll kind of explore here, is the PCB is probably the only real core change to this. Sounds like a positive for quality control. Yeah, price-wise, I would not expect to see much of a price difference. I don't know if Mike has like a set price for these yet, but I wouldn't expect anything to be different. Packaging-wise, it is a smidge of a different, no more bowed PCBs. So instead of getting double boxes, you get 2 boxes here. You get the one with the Keycult, you know, same old Keycult, really difficult to get out of a box type thing. And then you get the accessories box on the inside here. But we'll go over all this. Mike just confirmed pricing, so it's going to be the regular Keycult #1 TKL pricing of $580. So more on the premium side, for sure. Yeah, so there's going to be 2 different colors. This is going to be the purple violet one. Boxing is all the same, all this jazz here. Keyboard pretty much identical. There's going to be some small changes. The big change is the PCB. It's no longer going to be using a Wilba PCB, and we'll be using a Yonkar PCB. Don't get me wrong, love Wilba PCBs. I would say the only benefit to this is, well, the Wilba PCBs, the packaging, which drove me up the walls personally, was so tight that you could risk damaging your keyboard PCB when you were taking it out of the packaging. And then the other benefit, maybe you can see it as a benefit, is Wilba PCBs tend to be a smidge bowed when you got them. So for someone maybe not as experienced with the Wilba PCB, you maybe could have suffered from some non-flush switches. You know what I mean? And you can see here, we're given 2 cables, one really long one not so long one. I'm probably going to stick to the really long one today. And then we have all our accessories, you know, the bubble feet. It'll just be in stock sales. We're going to do different colors. So this time here, there's going to be 2 colors. Next time there might be 2, I don't know, 3. I don't know what we have in storage for the next run, but these are going to be in stock. Is there a buy period? Well, there's going to be enough stock, I'd say, to hopefully make people happy of these 2 initial colors. Past that, I don't know when the next one's going to be done. You still get the nice classic designs. Even the cards, look, it's like a NovelKeys colored card over here. Now, I'm going to use some HMX switches today. I was considering doing aluminum cherry, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I feel like, I think I've used cherry switches and Keycults to death, and I think we have a general idea how that's going to sound already. So let's just use some other switches today. I feel like the #1 switch to pair with this is probably going to be cherry. So why not do something a bit different and see how it sounds? Beautiful. What a good looking color. This run here is going to be all aluminum parts. For being all aluminum too, this is quite hefty. Dude, this is looking good. Hold on, let me get the weight, because I think you guys want me to measure it. Oof. Let's just do kilograms, because I'm more used to that. So 1.6 kilos, so what, about 3.5 pounds? Yeah, about 3 pounds, 9-ish ounces. Here's the inside of this board. Pretty standard fare, I'd say. I can't remember if this is the same position as the other Keycults. It's been a little while since I've had a #1 TKL in my hand, but... Mike, does it have a serial number in here too for the number of units? It does. Oh, so this is number 480, which may give you guys an idea of how many there'll be. Oh yeah, it does match the card. I didn't even take that in. Didn't even see that was there. The Keycult plate, there's some stuff you can do to it. I would personally not bother to put the gasket on this particular one right over here. Again, this is kind of a legacy kind of board in a lot of ways, but I would just not put the adhesive gaskets on this, like right over here. Just this particular one. This will make the keyboard sound a lot more lively. We'll take this apart and we'll kind of explore that. If you guys wanted to see what the board looks like on the side profile, pretty standard TKL by Keycult over here, #1. My favorite of all the Keycult designs, by the way. The #1 was just always so beautiful. The ano looks top tier on it, if you guys were looking, or wanted to look rather. So everything's looking fantastic. The mid accent's still a classic, absolutely. And we'll zoom in a bit and just show you guys. Ooh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's a lovely color. I think this is my favorite out of the two colors that have come out. Truly a timeless design. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the motivation here. It is a timeless design. Let me show you guys the PCB. I believe the hot swap option is the only option we're going to be getting right now. I don't know if there's going to be a solderable PCB. I don't see why a Heine PCB wouldn't work in this. I'm not going to say that's fact. If you guys did want a solder PCB, I suppose you could just use a Heine. You can pick one up. Mike said down the road it will come. But so far, hot swap has basically all the, at least for me, all the necessary stuff. I mean, you are missing like ISO if you want to go ISO, so that's not here at all. If you wanted to split anything, those aren't available, but you do get some options for your space bars, and you get an option for step caps. So it has, the first initial PCB is quite limited, but like Mike said, more down the road. I do like the plates match with the weight. This is nice, or the accent rather, I should say. Very, very nice color. All right. Well, we don't have to solder anything since this is hot swap, so let's get everything installed here. Excited to try these switches too. All right, here's the inside. If you guys wanted just another quick little peek at the inside here. So again, they have the serial. So this is number 480, in case anyone's looking. TKL V3 NK 480. So that's pretty cool. Nice little touch there. I like that. And then most of the branding is just on the inside with that little Keycult badge on the back over here. And just like most of the other Keycult, I mean, nothing's changed about this. We're going to just take out the inside here and we're going to install our daughter board. The ano quality, in case you guys want to see, looks phenomenal, minus a fingerprint or two on the, yeah, you can see where my fingerprints land. We'll get really close in here just to really show you guys this too. And this is the internal. Here's the bottom. Again, fingerprints, so ignore the fingerprints, but the ano quality looks phenomenal on this. And then here's this piece. In case you guys wanted to see this up close too, get some textured look. I don't know if that's coming off on stream too well, but the only challenging part about the Keycult sometimes is getting this to align properly, which I didn't really account for, so let me do that now. I like how the number is printed a different color. Yeah, it kind of gives it a very unique look overall for sure. Now, the true test of everything. Oh, these are actually easy to put in. I might actually use these today, guys. Oh wow, these just slip in no problem. Well, that's reassuring. I really like that, actually. It's the weirdest, smallest complaint type deal, but yeah, they actually fit nicer this time. Not a real Keycult. Yeah, it doesn't give you that real Keycult experience, does it? There's like little minor changes with things, but overall, you're getting the same old Keycult. Also, I am not going to put one over here. We're going to leave this one here blank. And if you guys are wondering why, it's because I don't want that underneath my spacebar personally. I guess, you know what? I'll put the alignment pins in. I think we said we were going to do that, right? I still don't love using these things, but we'll give it a little go. Way easier to put in. Holy smokes. Oh yeah, these just go in no problem this time. And let's put this down. So we removed the gasket on the top there too. Now getting the alignment pegs aligned on the top. Other tricky part of this. I think the alignment pegs don't actually slot into the top. You know what? I didn't even notice that. All right, well, I think we got to remove the alignment pegs. They no work because there's no slot for them to sit in on the top, or these are just made too long with the idea of making them too long. So these do not work. I will let Mike know. Can you build this without them? Absolutely. In fact, probably easier too, but yeah, they don't slot into the top. Therefore, they do not fit. I would not use these then. These actually do seem quite long. Usually these are quite short, no? They're like half the size. Also, a little tip if you're doing this, also good practice in general, screw the Keycult in an X pattern because it does have some level of compression with the gaskets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is Mandalorian the answer here? It is quite nice looking though. Mandalorian was a really good choice. This does look really good. Yeah, with the accent on this too. Really ties this together. Maybe a different color cable for this, but not gonna go crazy for that right now. All right, so this is the Keycult X NovelKeys, #1 TKL, aluminum plate. This is the burgundy / gold, or do they call it burgundy or red? Whatever. Burgundy color, we'll just call it that. We're using some KeyGeek blue cheese switches. I didn't really do much to these switches. There was like 1 or 2 that I opened up just to make sure. But these are pretty much very well stock lubed, as with most of the KeyGeek stuff. And then we used some cherry clip-ins in which I mod it, you know. I need to tune the stab just a little bit better, but... If you guys want a little bit of standard kind of clackiness, I'd probably go cherry for this. I'd make it really simple and just go cherry. But I want to try something different today because I feel like for every Keycult build ever, we always go cherry or some sort of variant of really loud long pole. So today, mixing it up a bit. We'll definitely try a Nixie spacebar here for you guys, and these are full treble, yeah. I mean, to me, this sounds fantastic. Let's try one thing with the gasket then. Maybe we do need to put at least the bottom gasket here. So let's give that a go and see if that gets rid of some of that bottom ping, because I actually did not put any gaskets underneath this board for the spacebar. Let's see if it affects the sound as well as if it gets rid of some of that metallic noise. I wonder if this is going to kind of deaden the sound a little bit. I think we should be fine because at least I don't have one on the top pressing down on this, compressing it. And this is soft enough. Yeah, so I'm thinking this still should be fine. So maybe in this particular case for the TKL, not like the 65, you just install one gasket. Yeah, it might sound a smidge flatter. Actually, you know what? Okay, the metallic noise is now gone. So maybe you do have to use the bottom one in this particular case, but it's not as poppy. Some workarounds for that, if you did want to kind of tune your spacebar in this case, you could experiment with just putting the top one. You could experiment with putting like a little piece of gasket on the bottom, but I still think this sounds pretty damn good, even without... Let's try a different switch as well here before we log off. We'll try a Nixie first for the spacebar. So this is before with the KeyGeek switch. Standard kind of cherry. I kind of like the KeyGeek a little bit more. Yeah, I like the switch a little bit more from KeyGeek there. I think that had a bit more of a nicer top out. I feel like this is a bit more subdued. But there is a, just so you guys are hearing what I'm hearing a lot of people actually really like this, which is interesting. And it's all preference, by the way, guys. There is some metallic undertone to the entire board. Yeah, I actually do like this switch way more. Damn, the springs in these sound really good too. But there is a slight metallic resonance to the undertone of the board here. Mainly because it's probably all aluminum. Like even the accent weight piece, whatever you want to call it, is alu. It does have it's pretty hefty though. Would the brass bottom have a brighter sound signature? Yes. It won't be brighter per se, but it'll reflect sound different, which will make it sound fuller. I wouldn't say brighter, more so just more full. Less metallic noise. And weight-wise, in pounds, fully built, 4.1 pounds. Is that 4.1 technically? Let's go to kilograms. 2.1 kilos fully built. Pretty classic sounding though. I like it. Sounds good. Oh, and Mike did say no drawings. These are just first come, first serve. It'll be 580 and there's 496 units. 496, I believe Mike said. That's the exact number. Yeah, only changes I would make. I mean, obviously this is the standard Keycult design and I don't think anything's ever going to change with this realistically. Mainly doing something about the bottom gasket area. That's it. That's the only thing I would probably change. And just so you guys are aware too, those plastic the alignment tabs, they do not work with this. They do not fit this at all. So even though they actually slot in now, which is, a positive, they do not seem to work with this board, which is not really a net loss or win or anything like that. You don't have to use them. You don't even have to insert them. And in fact, normally I don't anyways. probably detrimental to the board if you do. But you know, one thing I've never tried force breaking a Keycult. Now this one here might actually benefit for it a little bit more since it's all alu, but there's nothing wrong with force breaking. Force breaking happens in a lot of nice keyboards. Do the corners? Yeah, we'll see what we do here. I'm not too sure. I don't think it does need a DIY force break, but I just kind of want to see if you guys kind of want to eliminate some of the metallic-y noises, which again is all up to preference, because I know a lot of people who prefer having some metallic-y character to the keyboard. We're just gonna do 4 corners here and see what this does. All right, force breaks installed in all the corners. I don't know if this will do anything. I'm just genuinely curious. Oh, it does remove some of the metallic-y noises. Ever so slightly, it does. Might not be your preference, but I think this sounds fine. I don't know. I think either way it was good for me. I don't think I had a preference to which one I prefer. Maybe this one here? Well, that's the fun thing. We did it both ways, and now you can just make your decision. I just used some little stab pads. You can just use whatever. You can use a piece of masking tape. It really doesn't matter. You can just use whatever to force break stuff. Maybe not a super necessary mod here, but just to give you guys some more like options on what you can technically do. I think it's better. Yeah, I think it's quite nice, but for me, I don't know. I don't know if I have a preference per se. I think either way, I'd be a happy camper on either sound profile. Because I think I've mentioned in the past, I don't mind a bit of metallic-ness. I think it adds to it. Love you guys. Bye, everybody. I need to tune the stab just a little bit better, but